Britain's borders are protected by 25,000 men and women. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out the lawbreakers and imposters who don't have a right to be here. They are the UK Border Force. Tonight, a couple who didn't exist.
I've lied all the time and I don't want to, carry this burden of lying all the time.
An illegal worker is caught on camera.
Red t-shirt, gentleman working with red t-shirt, that's you, serving a customer.
And a student is given a lecture at Heathrow.
You've got documents by deception. How you got them, I don't know. All right, so stop messing about, because this is ridiculous.
Rising immigration in rural Britain has brought an increase in illegal workers. In Wales, enforcement teams search the valleys for immigration offenders. Today, Officer Whitmarsh Knight is en route to a Chinese takeaway suspected of employing illegal workers.
Am I going to have any runners out the back? And then hopefully, when we get in there, there'll be some people we can actually remove out of it.
As two of the team enter from the front, Officer Whitmarsh Knight covers the rear.
Up here we go. Hey! Right, trying to run. They're trying to run. They're trying to run. Right.
Two men are stopped, trying to escape out of the back.
Can you turn all off, please, for me? Do them out there.
And there are more in the kitchen. Along with the boss, 5 people are found on the premises.
Do you speak English? No. Do you speak English? No. Oh, don't speak any English, they say.
As Officer Whitmarsh Knight questions one of the runners using an interpreter on the phone, Officer Collins goes upstairs.
Hello? Just you in here, is it, mate? Is anyone else up here? Adult? Mum? Dad?
Mum and Dad?
Yeah? Downstairs. Okay. Heidi, we've got 2 up here, 2 children.
While 2 young children have been found upstairs, Officer Whitmarsh Knight has found out why this man was so keen to get away.
He's claiming that he arrived here illegally in 2003, that he came to Sunny Riska for fun, and he's only been here a couple of days.
But he's registered with a dentist.
There we are, register with a dentist, which you do when you're on holiday.
He admits entering Britain illegally. He is now arrested. As officers search for documents relating to the man they've just arrested, they find an asylum registration card that belongs to the second man who tried to run.
That's Immigration Nationality Application Registration Card.
These cards are given to asylum seekers. They store fingerprints and state if they're allowed to work.
But it actually says employment prohibited there, and even bigger at the back. It means that he's in the system. We have checked, and he is a failed asylum seeker. He's absconded.
You? Working? Yeah? Is that downstairs? No? Busy boy then.
All his appeal rights are exhausted, and he has since disappeared off the screen. So we're looking to take him into the police station so we can get the travel document application up and running for him as well.
Officer Nick Juck interviews the father of the child found upstairs.
Is it the 2 children upstairs your children?
No, 1 child.
1 child. Is that the boy or the girl?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, is it? Okay.
After you.
He finds a passport that shows he's in Britain legally via Ireland.
Irish. Ireland has sort of different set of immigration rules, and sometimes it is easier for foreign nationals to get Irish citizenship. If a child is born in Ireland, then it automatically qualifies for Irish citizenship. Then they're obviously allowed to stay in the UK as well because it's part of the European Union. So as far as I'm concerned, this family is fine.
2 out of 3 employees are not allowed to work. But there is still one more to be interviewed. Officers will have to find out who she is and why she's here. Coming up, the extraordinary case of stolen identity.
Well, I have no other identity than that, sorry.
Who's Rajendra Naidu?
Let us come here for you.
Why was payslips here?
And amnesia at Heathrow.
You've forgotten where you got your certificates from, haven't you?
No, I
Yeah.
in college.
How do you get a certificate from a college you don't attend?
The Criminal Investigations team at Croydon deal with serious immigration crime. Officer Tina Leonette investigates cases of identity fraud. Just over a year ago, UK Border Agency took a call from a woman in America. She said that she and her brother had been victims of identity theft by a man and woman living as a married couple in Britain.
I'm just conscious. So basically we've got these two people who have stolen the identities of a brother and sister. They're pretending to be brother and sister for benefit claims, but they're actually, if not husband and wife, they're certainly partners.
Today, Tina's team prepare to visit the couple's home address for the first time. It's a big day. Tina has been working on this case for 6 months, a case that also involves serious benefit fraud.
So we've got an overpayment roughly about in excess of £100,000.
That's right, yeah. They've been claiming benefits since 2002. It will total over 100,000.
The real person left the UK in 1984. She went to the States to get married, and she's not been back since.
The woman they're looking for is suspected of stealing the identity of someone called Savitri Naidu. If she answers to this name, she'll be arrested. Living at the same address is the woman's partner, who uses the name Rajendra Naidu. According to Home Office records, his real name is Mark Singh.
Well, what we're looking for is evidence of who these people really are, how long they've lived in the UK, what documents they've got. They've been here a long time. They must have, they've established a life. So we need to find out exactly what they've been doing and how.
Hi, mate.
Hello, sir. UK Border Agency. Can you come in and speak to you? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can you come in, please? Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Mr. Singh.
Mr. Singh. We've got a living room we can come and speak to you, sir. Thank you very much.
What's your first name, Mr. Singh?
Hello, madam.
Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony. Do you want to have a seat, please?
The man has identified himself as the target, Mark Singh.
What's your name, madam, please?
Naidu.
Naidu. Okay. Savitri.
Viren, Naidu.
And the woman says she is Savitri Naidu, but the team believes this name belongs to someone else.
And what nationality are you?
Well, Guyanese were British as well.
Okay, the reason why we're here is that we have information that you have possibly assumed the identity of somebody else, and that Savitri Naidu isn't your real identity. Okay? I'm therefore arresting you on suspicion of illegal entry, obtaining a pecuniary advantage by deception, and obtaining property by deception. Do you understand why you're under arrest?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, just explain that we think you've taken the identity of somebody else.
Well, I have no other identity than that, sorry.
Okay, right, well, we need to talk to you about it at the police station, and you can therefore explain your version of events, alright?
The woman is sticking to her story. Officers must now search for evidence to prove her real identity.
It's a money order. She's obviously sent home. It's got this address with a different name on,
It's got the name Kamali.
which is similar to the name that we thought she really was.
That's possibly who she really is. So that's quite good evidence already.
As the woman's story begins to unravel, Officer Burkham finds some pay slips that may relate to her partner.
There's a payslip here addressed to Mr. R.V. Naidu, so clearly he's been working at the hospital using that identity. You know, sort of the sort of document you'd expect to find lying around the house of somebody who's using an identity. Is it Mr. Singh? Yeah. Who's Rajendra Naidu?
He lives at London Road there.
So why do you have all these documents in your house then?
And I used to come here.
Sorry?
He used to be here also.
He used to be here.
Yeah,
So why are his
he's moved.
documents all still here then?
Let us come here for him.
Why are his payslips here?
I have to say the truth, yeah. I have to tell you the truth. Let's go to the police station. I will tell you the truth what happened. Yeah, I want to be honest on how.
You're using that name, aren't you?
Yes, I am using
You are. Okay, fine. All right, sir. No problem. We found some documents addressed to a guy called Rajendra Naidu, and Tina mentioned at the briefing that that she thought it's an identity that this gentleman has been using. So I just asked him about the documents, and he admitted that he is using them. So we think he's going to be arrested for those offences as well.
The man confesses. He's been working at a hospital canteen for 5 years under a false name.
Movements, okay?
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's got mine.
And amongst the haul of documents, officers believe they've just found the woman's real passport.
This is a good find. In these cases, it's always very hard to find out who the real person is. Passport says Kamini Sukram, born 23rd of February 1964, Guyanese. Looks like she's been here since 1995 when she was given 6 months entry as a visitor, and doesn't appear to have had a stay extended since then. So she's obviously assumed the ID we've arrested her under sometime after 1995.
Kamini Sukram came to Britain on a 6-month visit visa from Guyana, South America. She's been here for 14 years using someone else's name. With this stolen identity, she's claimed just over £100,000 in state benefits and even managed to become a British citizen. She's kept quiet so far, but with a house full of documents revealing 14 years of deception, it's not long before the truth comes out.
We're not here to tell lies, are we? It's just, you tell the truth and that's it, finish with. I've lied all the time and I don't want to, to carry this burden of lying all the time.
It is a relief to let the judge know the truth, and as I said, I want the truth to let the truth be known.
Each year, Britain welcomes 200,000 foreign students who come here to study. Most are genuine, but some students use college documents to enter Britain even though they have no intention of studying. Today, Officer Lisa Lee has stopped a student who tells her he's coming back to Britain to continue his studies at a college in London.
On arrival, he was very vague about what he studied, didn't know very much about his subject area, which is IT. What's a URL? What does HTTP stand for? He didn't have a clue. Now, clearly, he's been studying IT for almost 3 years. He should have a better idea of what's going on than that.
He appears to know little about his course, and Officer Lee suspects he's not been studying at all. The passenger says he's a student at Churchill College in London.
All right. Do you want to just grab your hand luggage and we'll go down and get your other bag? Okay. All right.
A bag search gives a chance to find evidence that can back up suspicions about a passenger's reasons for coming to Britain.
You studied a diploma in IT, yeah? But you don't know what URL is or HTTP? Right, you never mentioned this college to me before. I did. No, you didn't. You've forgotten where you've got your certificates from, haven't you?
No, London Music College.
You didn't tell me about this college, sir. I specifically asked you and you didn't mention it.
Officer Lee has found some college certificates from a different college to the one where he says he studies.
You didn't tell me you went to the College of Professional and Management Studies.
I told you before.
You did not, sir. You said you enrolled in October 2007 at this college. This says you were studying somewhere else at the time. I wrote it down. So how'd you get a certificate from a college you don't attend? Wish my university had been like that. We're going back upstairs and then I'm going to interview you properly. You're not going to talk to me now? No? Fair enough. If you don't want to answer my questions, we can send you back to India without answering my questions, okay? If you don't answer, we can refuse you entry. Failure to cooperate with an immigration officer, yeah? He had some documents with him, some certificates from a college he's not mentioned at all to me on arrival. I specifically went through his study history in the UK, and he said he studied at one place for a year and then transferred to the college he claims to be studying at now. And he's got a totally different diploma from a different college that we've not come across before, so how did he get that?
Officer Lee phones the college where the passenger says he's currently studying.
Oh, hello, sir. It's Officer Lee from Immigration. What was his attendance at your college? Really? So why does he know nothing about his course then? So he was attending when? Right, from October 2007. All right then, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. The current college he claims to be at is maintaining he has a very high percentage of attendance.
The college supports his story, but Officer Lee wants to know more about the certificates she found in his bag from a different college.
Okay, this college, the number is no longer in operation. So I will do a quick check online and see if I can get anything else for them. Well, it still has a website. Okay, I've just checked the Department for Innovation, University and Skills Register, which colleges have to be on if students are to be given their visas or extensions of stay. The college that he got this letter from is no longer on it, if indeed it ever was. So the phone number's not working, the college isn't on the register, but they do still have a website. But their latest news is actually from May 2007, so chances are it's closed down. So he's attending 2 colleges virtually the whole time to do the same course. He can't have been in 2 places at once.
The passenger appears to have been studying at 2 colleges at the same time. Someone's not telling the truth. Officer Lee wants to find out what he's been up to since he was given a student visa 3 years ago.
He's not a student here, I can just feel it. I just know from experience that he's not studying here, but we have to have concrete evidence that we can use to overturn his visa. That's what I'm going to go and get.
At a Chinese takeaway in South Wales, 2 out of 5 workers have been arrested after trying to escape the enforcement team. The manager who employed them has been a British citizen for over 20 years.
You got naturalised in the 80s.
He decides to help Officer Collins question the remaining workers.
You're a boss, you're an employer. Do you have any documents to say that you can work here? Just so you can... You haven't got a copy. What's her immigration status?
Well, she was asylum seeker.
She's an asylum seeker, so she's claimed asylum.
Yeah.
What's the outcome of that asylum claim?
She's allowed to work.
Allowed to work. So she's got asylum, has she? She's been granted asylum, refugee status. When was it granted?
1996.
She was granted in 1996.
That's when
she made a claim. So she claimed in 1996. But when was it granted?
She's still waiting from her solicitor.
She's waiting for the solicitor, but she hasn't been granted yet then, has she? So you told me that she was allowed to work, so you've seen documentation saying she hasn't worked, but you can't have. She's just said she hasn't been granted.
Although she's told her manager she's an asylum seeker, he still believes he's seen paperwork that proves she can work. Some asylum seekers are given permission to work by UK border agency.
Thank you.
He'll need to find the documents to prove this, or could face a £10,000 fine.
Occasionally, very rarely, we give permission to work. So he's looking for a document to confirm that now. He's the one who's been responsible for hiring all 3. Have you seen a passport for any of them, Mr. Trim, no?
No.
Well, he's got a fair few documents down there, so with a bit of luck there'll be something in there that will help us. So it's not there?
Not there, no. I thought I had it.
Okay.
It's not there.
He can't find the documents he needs. And next door, all that turns up is a driving licence.
Alright, that's fine. Like you said, we'll take this down and then we'll just confirm your details, okay?
Downstairs, Officer Collins checks the woman's details on the Home Office database. Her immigration
I think that's-
history
I
is
mean, that's
extensive.
about it, isn't it?
She's
There's
had
nothing
3
much we can do. I
applications
mean,
to stay in Britain
it's got 2
since
children upstairs, so we're gonna do lots of
1996.
stuff,
They've
but
all
thanks a lot
been
for that.
refused.
I might need to call
She
you
now
back
has
in
a
second. I've
4th
just got to consult
application
with
in
my
the
CIO.
system for
Nice
her
one. Cheers, mate.
and her child. Until she gets a decision, she's not supposed to work and must report to the local police station every month.
Driving license upstairs.
She can't work then.
No. We can't find anything to say that she can work. She's got a report. She's got to check in with this immigration and let us know where she is at all times, okay? So what I'm going to do is set her up a report. I'm not going to arrest her, put her in custody. There's a child upstairs and everything else, okay? It's imperative she does that, okay? That way she can start getting some money, because obviously she can't work here again at this point, because obviously 1996, she's been here quite a long time, and if we can get this sorted for her, better for her, okay? And obviously the child.
The manager of the takeaway is fined £20,000 for employing 3 illegal workers.
It seems that apparently what I'm doing is illegal. It's not right, so I have to wait now.
The 2 kitchen workers who tried to escape are taken to a local police station. After further questioning, they were released and asked to report to the police station twice a week. So far, they are complying. Coming up, the plot thickens in the case of stolen identity, and yet another stolen name is found.
Mark, who's Indra Mohan?
And it's rise and shine in Wales.
Hello, mate. Immigration Service. Got a warrant to enter the premises. Do you want to get yourself up, please?
In South London, the criminal investigations team have arrested a couple from Guyana, South America. For the last 14 years, they've been using stolen identities to live in Britain.
They have used an identity that's not theirs to claim benefits, and they've received thousands of pounds from the public purse.
They've claimed just over £100,000 in benefits as brother and sister. In reality, they're living together as a married couple. Searching through stacks of documents has revealed this woman's real name is Kamini Sukram. Now the team want evidence to prove the identity of her partner. He was living here using a stolen name, Rajendra Naidu, whilst he was registered with the Home Office as Mark Singh. And just now, they found a bank statement with yet another name, Indra Mohan.
So who's Indra Kumar Mohan then? Who is he to you then? Because the account's in that name and your name. It's a joint account. Indra Kumar Mohan or Kamini Sukram, which is your real name. So who is this guy?
He was like a friend.
Was he an ex-boyfriend or something, or what?
Hey?
Was he an ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's an ex-boyfriend.
If you tell us where they are.
Everything.
Alright. Do you know how much is in it at the moment?
We just found a Guyanese bank statement which had her real name on it and the name of somebody else, Indra Mohan. I suspected that might have been Mark Singh's other real identity, but she said it was some ex-boyfriend in Guyana.
Mark, who's Indra Mohan?
That's her partner.
Okay.
The couple both claim that Indra Mohan is the woman's partner. Officers have found an identity card which could clear up the confusion.
Do you know Mr. Mohan?
When he's done, I'll bring it down to you.
No.
You don't know Mr. Mohan? That's strange. That's a picture of Mr. Mohan. That was a Guyana identity card in the name of Indra Mohan, which had Mr. Singh's photograph on it.
With his true identity revealed, a relieved Indra Mohan now wants to come clean.
We were like in prison in here. We cannot go anywhere. I can't go for a holiday nowhere. I can't see my mom who just heart bypassing in New York. I can't even go to see her, and so I'm happy. If I'm going home, I'm happy. I'm just sad enough. I fed up. I was expecting this to come more far more earlier, but at this time.
The confessions continue. Now it's the turn of his partner.
What started all this was as soon as I landed here, then I got pregnant
wishes thing would happen when you were 3-4
And
years old.
that's what
So you could have grew up in.
where the lie started.
After 14 years in hiding, this couple has finally been caught out.
Sit in the front, put a seatbelt on for me.
But it's a familiar story for the investigations team.
Identity hijacking is not uncommon. It's rife, really, particularly for people that are desperate to stay in the UK. They'll do anything.
Identity fraud of one sort or the other costs the taxpayer £1.2 billion every year. While fingerprints and photographs are taken at Croydon Police Station, Officer Leonette has made another discovery about the man's real identity.
When we were at the address today, we found an identity in the name of Indra Mohan. We made checks with the Home Office, and it appears that this person arrived in the UK in 1990. There's allegations of domestic violence, and he was either deported or removed in 1991. He wouldn't therefore be allowed to come back in that identity. Hence, that's why he's acquired another identity of Mark Singh.
He left Britain as Indra Mohan and came back illegally as Mark Singh. He then applied to stay in the UK indefinitely using this name.
They've lied to everybody. They knew this was coming, so they'll just have to take the consequences.
The couple from Guyana were remanded in custody. They later pleaded guilty to deception and benefit fraud. They were each sentenced to 8 months in prison. Still held at immigration control is the returning student from India. Officer Lee wants to know why his documents show he studies in 2 places at once.
Just follow me, sir.
But this student can't even remember the name of the college his certificates are from.
Take a seat. You don't know the name of the college where you studied for a whole year?
Not whole year, 6 months.
6 months? You sure? So how long did you study at the second college was my question.
I think 8 months or something.
What subjects did you study?
Well, first year.
For your 8 months at the second college, whose name you can't remember, what subjects did you study?
Can't remember.
You can't tell me what the name of the college was or what you studied while you were there?
Cool.
You've forgotten?
I've got all my documents, you can check that.
Well, I'm asking you, sir, because the only way I can be sure that you've studied here is if you tell me, and you can't tell me anything.
Yeah, because I told you my memory is not so sharp.
That's not an excuse. I know why you can't remember the second one, because you never went there. When did you enrol at Churchill College?
October, I think.
October what year?
2007.
So why then do you have letters from the other college, the second college, saying you were also enrolled at their college at the same time?
What time?
The same time you say you've been studying at Churchill College?
No.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a look?
No, because that will give you the name of the college. One of them's wrong. I have a problem with the fact that you've got documentation in your bags which tells me that you were studying in 2 places at once. You may disagree with me, that's what the documents say. This leads me to believe that you've been less than honest with me so far today.
Listen, this is true.
Don't tell me to listen.
Okay.
I've got the documents. You can't remember what's on there because you never went there. That's why you don't know the name of the college. You've got documents by deception. How you got them, I don't know. All right, so stop messing about because this is ridiculous. Saying you can't remember the name of somewhere you claim to have studied at for 8 months. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Need some time to think.
I can sit here and wait, it's fine. Tell me all the lecturers' names.
Can't remember.
Tell me what exam you sat last.
Can't
Tell me
remember,
what the title of the exam was.
I told you I can't remember right now.
Why not?
Because my mind is not steady. I told you. My mind is all messed up. I can't remember. I need some time.
Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
You've been found out. You don't know the answers because you're not studying anything. It's quite frustrating because I know that anyone with any credibility as a student would remember the answers to my questions. You know, where did you study? He can't remember a whole year of his life. It's quite obvious he's got something to hide. Quite clearly he's trying to conceal something about his past here. It may well be that he has been attending college, the current college. The problem I have is how can I be sure of that if he's telling me he can't remember his tutors' names, the modules he sat, when he sat an exam, or what exam he sat. It's just nonsense.
Officer Lee is convinced he's not been studying, but without hard evidence, there's little to go on. She talks it over with her chief immigration officer.
All I have is that he has absolutely no idea. He just can't remember anything about his college. He can remember his journey there, he can remember a bit about what he does at work, but every time you ask him anything academic, he's got no idea. College is saying he's attending, but at the moment he's not satisfying me that he is, but I don't know what we can do. Because clearly I don't think we have enough at the moment.
No, because if it went to appeal, what we'll have is the college saying, yes, he's attended, yes, he's got all these pass marks, we're the educational provider, we know if someone's a good student or not. Well, we haven't got enough to go on.
No.
Personally, I think we're flogging a dead horse.
I know, as frustrating as it is. I shall tell him the good news. He'll be thrilled.
I'm sure he will be.
As one of the colleges says he's studying there, and there is no evidence to say otherwise, Officer Lee has no choice but to allow him into Britain.
Right, it's your lucky day. Alright? You awake? You understand what I'm saying, yeah? My chief immigration officer and I have spoken about you at length, alright? Now, whilst I'm not satisfied that you're studying here, at the moment I don't have enough to cancel your visa. So you're being allowed to enter today, all right? However, when your visa comes up for renewal in November, you'd better hope that you can remember by then what you've been studying. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem, all right?
So I think it was a bit stress, but end of the day it was quite good to a happy ending, would you say? I'll try and remember next time.
Unless I have an admission from him or from the college or from his employer that he has done something in breach of his visa conditions, I have no choice but to grant him entry.
No work, only sleep, eat. Maybe some studying? Yeah, of course. Alright, bye.
It's 11 p.m. in South Wales and the enforcement team is looking for illegal workers.
Specific intelligence was that illegal workers would be there after 10 o'clock, so that's why we're there at this time of night.
This team raids 150 takeaways every year in the search for immigration offenders. Tonight they're visiting a kebab shop.
Good evening, fellas, immigration. We've got a warrant to come in.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do what you're doing. Hello!
Officers search the premises for employees, even if it means waking them up.
Hello, mate. Immigration Service. Got a warrant to enter the premises. Do you want to get yourself up, please?
Downstairs, Officer Collins begins to question a man he found in the kitchen.
Nationality, where are you from? I am from Turkey. Turkey. Where are you living? Upstairs. Is he sleeping upstairs? Is he living upstairs in the flat? Are you here on a work permit?
Work permit?
You got, in your passport, what have you got? Okay, wait there.
Can I take?
Yeah, 1 second. He's got a passport upstairs there as well.
As officers search for the Turkish man's passport, the man who's just woken up faces a grilling from immigration.
So you've applied to stay here, have you? You're Albanian?
Albanian, yes.
Have you claimed asylum?
Yes.
Right, you've claimed asylum. And this chap, yeah, he's claimed asylum. application outstanding at the moment. Technically it was out of time, but there's a bit of grace period, and it's accepted that it was within time, even though it was out of time. Final one. So technically...
So we're still waiting for...
This Albanian man came to Britain in 2001, aged 15.
Right. Where's your passport?
He was given permission to stay until he became an adult. He's since applied for asylum and is waiting for a decision. Upstairs, officers have found the passport they've been looking for.
Basically, he's presented us with a Turkish passport. He's got a visit visa in there, visit student, but the visa clearly states no work or recourse to public funds.
Second name, Akbas Alpha Kilo Bravo Alpha Sierra. He's got a student visa here.
This man came into the country as a student for a 1-month English course. It finished 3 weeks ago. His visa says he's not allowed to work here because he was studying on a short-term basis.
If he has been working, then he'll be deemed to be working in breach of his entry conditions, and he may well stand to be arrested.
We caught him working in the rear. Oh yeah, he's behind the counter. So this course in St Giles, down in Eastbourne, that you took a month over, that's what you were supposed to come in for. You were supposed to leave after that. Yeah, so why didn't you leave after it? Okay. I think you've been working here. He's trying to improve his English, that's what he's been doing, I know he has. That's what he's been doing.
This student won't admit he's been working, but officers spot the kebab shop has CCTV. Maybe the truth will be on there.
That's one, yeah. It was him, yeah.
Just see this gentleman here serving a customer. He's saying he's not working here. Obviously, the evidence there is that he is.
Red T-shirt, gentleman working with red T-shirt. That's you, serving a customer.
So, and if we play this tape back over a longer period, it's going to be on there, isn't it? A lot more. So you might as well come clean and just tell us, because we're going to play it back. We've got documentary evidence there that he's actually working. So he's working in breach of his conditions of his stay. I am now going to arrest him for working in breach, okay? It's a dead giveaway. I mean, it's a double-edged weapon. It protects them, gives them a bit of security, but then it works against them and shows them working. Yeah.
With the video evidence showing he works there, the student from Turkey is arrested and transferred to an immigration removal centre before being deported.
Step down, straight to the front. Alright, sorted.
Coming up, the man behind the mask.
Try to relax. You're going tense.
But will he make it into Britain? At Terminal 3, an Australian man has been stopped at passport control. Chief Dyson hands the case over to Immigration Officer Brendan Bruce.
Australian male, 4 months holiday, single ticket, 3,500 Australian dollars, which is what, 1,500 quid?
1,500, 2,000, yeah.
Going to stay with some friends in the UK. He also applied for the Youth Mobility Scheme, the working holiday maker kind of thing, and was refused. He's basically been to the consulate, said, I want to live and work in the UK for at least a limited period. We've said no, doesn't have a job to go back to, doesn't have that much money.
Has his bags been done?
Don't believe they have.
Okay, we'll start with that. We'll go straight down and do that now.
The passenger has been stopped because the immigration team believes he doesn't have enough money for a 4-month holiday. That, and just 3 weeks ago, he was refused a UK work permit.
I am going to take you downstairs now for a baggage inspection. We're going to go straight down. Do you
He'll have to convince
any bags with
Officer
you here?
Bruce that he's not
Okay,
here
you want
to
take that one
work.
bag.
A bag search may help the officer find any evidence of the man's intentions for his trip to Britain.
Did you pack in a hurry?
Yes.
The passenger seems nervous.
Try to relax. Try to relax. You're going tense.
Officer Bruce finds a mask, which may or may not be work-related.
You're looking nervous.
This man is carrying some strange clothes. But are they a concern for immigration? This document might be.
I found a letter of sorts, or a contract. It says a contract between master and slave. This contract is between the master and the slave. This contract is made with the full legal consent of both parties. The slave must learn to desire what the master wants. Signed by the passenger as the slave, dated the 5th of June 2008. That is not an employment contract as I would see it. So it's just, I think, a bit of interesting reading.
Officer Bruce is content the passenger's contract is not a sign of employment. But he still has concerns about the passenger's funds.
Okay, I'm going to go and interview the gentleman now. Mr. Goff?
The immigration interview gives Officer Bruce a chance to find out about the passenger's trip
At the end of the
and
interview, you
the
get to
items
read.
in his bag.
Okay, the equipment you have in your bag, if you're coming here for a short holiday, why do you have all of that with you? Your clothing, your fetish clothing.
Why?
Fetish clothing.
I intend to hopefully use it whilst I'm here.
Okay, you have a contract with your master. Where is your master currently?
I have no idea.
Will you receive any form of cash payment for using your equipment?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what do you have to return to in Australia?
Okay, I have a couple of pets. Obviously all my friends and family are in Australia. My life is in Australia.
I don't believe he can afford to be here. He's got £1,500 to last, including paying for at least partial rent, food, whatever transport he intends to do, whatever things he intends to do while he's here. He just doesn't have the funds.
Officer Bruce will now consult his Chief Immigration Officer, Sarah Dyson.
Let's think about what he really needs to survive in the UK, in London. You know, even living on beans and jacket potatoes for 4 months, it doesn't really hang together. And we know that he wanted to work here because we've got the evidence. You know, he applied for that visa and got only refused 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
So I'm recommending refuse leave to enter and return him to his country. I just want to come outside. I just need to explain something to you.
Sure.
Okay. The situation is this. Due to your current circumstances, I'm not satisfied. You are going to be refused entry to the UK today. So would you prefer to go tonight or take a flight tomorrow?
Might as well be tonight.
His lack of funds makes the immigration team suspicious he's here to work. He's refused entry and sent back to Australia on the next available flight. Men and women work for the UK border. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out lawbreakers and imposters who don't have a right to be here. They are Tonight, in Lagos, a farmer sows
it's an emergency travel document, surely. But they're issued within 24 hours.
That's why I'm surprised.
In Calais, it's Good Morning Vietnam.
One available.
Hey, be careful as well. One of them's smoking in here.
And a factory in Southampton produces an assembly of illegal workers.
You're under arrest for being in this country illegally and working illegally, all right?
5 a.m. Portsmouth. Immigration officer Peter Campbell is briefing a joint team of police and immigration staff. Their target is a plastics factory in Southampton where they believe foreign nationals are being employed as illegal workers.
So, very simple, when we get in the premises, we've got 6 interviewing officers. They will be conducting the interviews. Everybody else is there in a cover role. So the interview officers could just remain here and the rest of you go and find your vehicles.
30 officers are on this operation, sourced from different enforcement teams across southern England.
It's on the back there.
It's a big factory. The immigration team don't want to take any risks.
The premises has never been visited, but it's been on the cards for the last about year and a half. As the intel's very good for it, but it's logistics-wise, it's a big job, so it's getting the staff for it really.
I think there's going to be quite a lot of people to deal with. So we've got about 6 officers who are going to be interviewing. Then everybody else is going to be in a cover role today, so that'll be my role, just to be where I'm needed really.
Over here. Stop here. Stop.
The first stage of the mission is to seal off the escape routes. Teams split up. One group surrounds the perimeter.
That's clear.
As another moves inside the factory.
Guys from immigration, can you come over?
Everyone is a suspect, so all the workers are quickly rounded up. With the entire workforce together, the team sets up a safe zone where the interviews will take place.
At the moment we're just trying to contain the area, get everybody who's on the premises into a sterile area. So at the moment we're just trying to cover everybody until we get ourselves set up to interview everybody.
We didn't lose anybody, nobody escaped or anything, so yeah, it's good. It went quite smoothly. We've just got to do the rest of it now.
Okay, what's your name?
S6 at the moment, S6.
Do you want to write it for me there? So that's Satnam Singh, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're Indian?
Yes.
And how long have you been in the UK?
Huh?
How long have you been in the UK?
96.
You came in 96?
Yeah.
And what's your entitlement to be here?
Sorry?
What's your entitlement to be here?
96, yeah.
Yeah, I know you came in 96. How did you come in 96?
96 in the land, you mean? Yeah.
You flew in 96, did you?
Yeah.
Have you got a visa?
Yeah.
Work permit?
Yeah.
When did you get that?
My home. My car.
Where's your passport now?
This is my home.
At your house?
Yeah.
Right, so how long was your visa for?
Me? 96, yeah.
Yeah, but are you here legally now?
I'm illegal.
No, are you?
I'm 96. Yeah, work here. 96, yeah.
Officer Jones isn't getting any clear answers, and neither is Officer Jody Denton.
What language do you speak?
The man claims to be Greek, but says he can speak a little Punjabi.
He's got a Greek passport, he's in Greece.
Yeah, Heathrow. It's Heathrow.
Right, so you're telling me that you've got a Greek passport. Why did you send it back to Greece?
Okay, he sent it back for renewal. It's going to be stamped again to be renewed.
So how am I going to believe that you're a Greek national when you can prove that you can't show me that you're a Greek national?
He said he can get the passport back he can get a photocopy of the passport back within 10-15 days.
Well, no, I need it now. Basically, what he's stated to me is that he's a Greek national, but which means he's a European national, and he doesn't need a visa. He can basically live freely and work freely in the United Kingdom. The problem we have is he has no identification to prove that to me.
Yeah.
Right, what do you want me to do with him then? We haven't arrested him.
Don't pull out for a former yet. I need to pull out if you're going to arrest him.
Oh, right, okay.
Where's your documents?
He doesn't
Yeah, you speak English. Yes, you do. Stop lying to me. Where are your documents? Nick him on suspicion.
Right, okay. Right, okay.
Officer Campbell has ordered the first arrest, and with 45 people still to be interviewed, there could be many more. Coming up, the pig farmer trying to save his bacon in Nigeria.
Have you been arrested and fingerprinted by the police in the UK?
Over what?
I'm asking you.
And Officer Pownall questions a pregnant lady at Lagos Airport.
When you went for your American visa, did you tell the visa officer that you were pregnant?
The slums in Lagos, Nigeria, plagued by violence, power cuts and poverty. The product of a city in the middle of the largest population boom of the 21st century. Lagos is one of the largest cities in Africa. Ties to the UK are close, and for many in search of a better life, Britain is their #1 destination. Here at the British Deputy High Commission, 110,000 visa applications are assessed each year, and the decisions on who to let into the UK made by 34 UK border agency officers.
I've had a very quick look at this case, and the first thing I noticed is that the marriage certificate is not genuine. On the basis of that, this application is going to be refused.
This is the man who's just been declined for submitting false documents.
They say I should appeal for the refusal. I know that if I appeal, I'll get the visa to the UK.
The Home Office will impose a 10-year ban if he applies for another visa. But with almost 10,000 fraudulent documents detected in 2008 alone, police do not have the resources to arrest him. Not all cases are so straightforward. Some applicants are asked to go to the Deputy High Commission to be interviewed by an entry clearance officer. This man has been called in because he was arrested in the UK in spring 2009, yet the stamp in his Nigerian passport says he had already returned to Nigeria. He'll be interviewed by Officer Phil Morgan.
Now the next case we have is a family visitor. He has come to the attention of the police in the UK in March of this year, 2009. And when we look through the entry stamps back into Nigeria, the last entry into Nigeria that he has is on the 12th of November 2008. Now my guess is he's maybe paid somebody to wind back the stamp to show him entering Nigeria before the expiry conditions of his last UK visa, which expired on the 7th of December 2008.
If the man wants a visa, he'll have to explain how he got his passport stamped when he was clearly still in the UK.
Morning. I need to ask you some questions about your current application, okay?
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
At the moment, I'm a farmer.
You're a farmer?
Yes, please.
A farmer in what?
In poultry, fishery, and piggery.
And are you married?
Yeah, happily married.
And how many children do you have?
2 able boys.
2 sons?
Yes, please.
Okay.
My gene is for boys, so I don't want to go further.
I noticed from your passport that you last entered the UK on the 28th of October.
October, yeah.
And how long did you stay?
I stayed almost 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah, almost.
So when did you return to Nigeria?
March 21.
Sorry?
March 21.
But your visa expired on the your visa expired on the 7th of December 2008.
Yeah.
So you breached your conditions.
No, something terrible happened.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah, the last time I traveled, October 27, I traveled with a cousin of mine. His name is Akinremi Adetola.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were to come back on the 12th of November, but I changed my mind to stay 5 more days.
Yeah, so what was the terrible thing that happened then?
Yeah, while he was coming back, he came back with my jacket. And my passport and ticket was in my jacket.
Yes.
When he tendered the passport for stamping at the immigration office here, and you know what applies here is, you'll be on the queue, 2 people will be sitting down. You give your passport to the first person, he sends it to the next person to stamp. Then the next person that stamp will call you when they want to hand over it to you. So by the point of handing over, they discover it's not the owner of the passport, and my passport was withheld.
Does your cousin look anything like you then?
Not really, not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
So the Nigerian immigration officer didn't look at the biodata page and compare the photographs with your
At
cousin?
the point of delivery, that was when they compared. But they've already done the stamping.
That's very good, thank you. I need to refer to my entry clearance manager, okay?
Okay.
If you wait outside, please.
Yeah, I just want to add that why I had to stay long was because of that issue, and it took me 3 months to get emergency travel certificate. That was, in fact, that was so devastating. To apply for emergency travel certificate in Nigeria Embassy took 3 months, while I have a lot of things to do here. I have social engagement to attend, I have my business meeting to attend, I have so many things to attend.
But it's an emergency travel document, surely. But they're issued within 24 hours.
That's why I'm surprised. You need to see the crowd. I need to go through the website to download. After downloading, you need to be giving interview date 3 months. It's so disgusting. That's my area of problem with them.
But as I said, I need to refer the case to the entry clearance manager. So if you'd like to wait outside, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, he's attempted to explain why the re-entry stamp shows the 21st of November. He says that his cousin took his passport back to Nigeria with him and got the Nigerian Immigration Service to stamp that. I don't find that very credible myself.
I've been honest enough to them. I don't think I should lie over any questions. I've told them the absolute truth of what happened, and I don't live in UK. I only go and visit. I don't see any reason why they should not allow me to go anymore.
2,500 miles away, and Officer Dave Jones is still attempting to get answers from his interviewee.
Right, to start work here, the person that gave you the job, you would have to show him something so to say that you was legally here in the United Kingdom and you was entitled to work. So what did you show him?
Oh, my card.
You've got a national insurance card?
Yeah.
Where's that? Okay, show me. Yeah. Where did you get this from?
Yeah, my solicitor.
Your solicitor?
Yeah.
Your solicitor gave you this?
Can you speak language?
Why are you entitled to be here and work? Who gave you permission to be here and work?
Yeah, what long time job here, tax pay, everything.
Officer Jones will now check his immigration status on the Home Office database.
Okay. So he came when? Sorry, Trace. December. Is he Faz? Yeah. Lovely. Cheers. Now listen, you're in the United Kingdom illegally, and you're not entitled to work. Oh, right, okay, mate. Sorry. Okay? You know that, though, don't you? Huh? You know that, don't you? You know you're not entitled to work, and you know you're here illegally, don't you?
Okay.
This chap actually arrived in the United Kingdom in December '98, and he was arrested and served as an illegal entrant at document abuse. He then absconded, and he's been an absconder ever since. He did claim asylum. It's failed, but he's been an absconder since '98, so he'll be going down the station and he'll be processed from there. I've already cautioned you, but you're under arrest for being in this country illegally and working illegally, all right? I'll let you know what's going to happen to you in a minute.
Yeah. That's illegal entry.
It's been a busy morning for the team. 46 people have been interviewed and many arrests have been made.
We've made 12 arrests, of which two were, one was a failed asylum seeker, one was an overstayer, and the other 10 were arrested on suspicion of illegal entry.
Although the manager doesn't want to appear on camera, he is keen to prove he hired the men in good faith and carried out all the necessary checks.
This is the employer's file where he's keeping all the details of his workforce. And it looks like one of my colleagues has actually seized it, so we'll be taking this back to the office to run the checks for the people that we've arrested.
An employer must check and keep copies of a worker's documents before hiring them. This helps to show they've done everything possible to follow the rules if later found to be employing an illegal worker. If, however, they are knowingly employing illegal workers or can't show that they took these necessary steps, they could be fined up to £10,000 per employee.
What we're doing now is the people we've arrested have all gone out to the police stations. The remaining officers here, we're all going to go and do the house searches now for the addresses of the people we have arrested. So I've got a small team here, and we're going to go down and do 2 addresses, and hopefully we can find some documents within.
Okay, all right, watch your head when you go in, mate. All right, okay.
In order to remove the suspects from the country, the team need to verify their identities. The best way to do this is to search their homes and find their passports or any other form of identification.
200. What did we say, 202? They didn't have keys for us, so it's a case of just knocking and see if anybody answers today.
Oh, hello. Can we come in? You happy for us to come in? Yeah? Okay. Happy to come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So who lives here? Was it you and this gentleman here?
Inside the house, the team encountered 2 men who were both foreign nationals and immediately admit to being in the UK illegally.
He came to look for work 2 years ago.
And how did he enter the UK?
Lorry. Yeah, via lorry.
I asked him when did he arrive here?
Okay, Turlock, you are now under arrest. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
The team have found more than they bargained for. Both men are arrested for entering the UK on the back of a lorry. Now their rooms can be searched too.
Okay, sit on the floor. Sit on the floor. Okay. Where do you have any paperwork?
Okay,
no problem. Myself and my colleague are going to look around. Okay, we'll ask you questions. If you show us the paperwork, we don't need to look.
The man claims to have no paperwork, so the team will have to search the entire room.
Sometimes these things happen. We go to a home address, and obviously we've got the power to come here because we've arrested the person. They've provided this as their home address, their place of residence. So when we come back here, we've encountered another 2 working here. Had a quick chat to them and found they're actually in the country illegally. So they've been arrested on suspicion. So we're now having a search through their rooms.
Is this your bag?
Was this your bag?
Yes.
Next door, the officers have forced entry to one of the bedrooms.
So we've gained entry to this room. This is the room for the guy who was arrested down at the factory. I found all his pay slips, so we know we're in the right room. So hopefully we'll find a passport for him. Have you done all these, Paul?
I haven't gone through the details.
In the third bedroom, Officer Viv has found an asylum registration card, which appears to give the owner the right to work in the UK.
I mean, this particular one, it's got employment permitted, and from my phone call that my colleague made to the Home Office earlier on, there was no trace of this gentleman on Home Office records. So this card would appear to not been issued by the Home Office.
They've just found a counterfeit art card. Usually the art cards have got employment prohibited on them. You'll see on this one it's got employment permitted. So that always makes you have a second look anyway if it's got permitted on it, because very few of them do. But that is a particularly bad one.
And that's not all.
His
Officer
sunglasses
Viv's
do that.
also found a fake passport.
Well, the gentleman first of all said he's an Indian national. It seems that it's falling apart, and as you can see, there appears to be something else underneath. It seems as though one page has been stuck on to another.
Next door,
Hello,
the
Jim,
deception continues. Another national insurance card.
Is it false or?
I would say it's very moody, yeah. He's saying it's moody, he's saying it was supplied by a previous occupant.
Oh, excellent. Well, in that
as
case,
a false one.
Sees that and sees the paperwork.
Fake passports and forged documents are flooding the UK from factories in Eastern Europe.
Mr. Jim, do you want all of the paste?
The officers have found plenty of fakes, but not the genuine passport they were looking for. Although the trail took an unexpected twist, the team have gathered enough evidence of deception to remove them.
I'm just going to hold your arm for now, okay? Don't worry.
These two arrests take the total to 15. Two men are both currently in detention.
How long have you been in the UK?
This man is also in detention
You came in
and is
96?
awaiting removal from
What's
the
your
UK
entitlement to be here?
back to India.
What's your...
This man claimed to be from Greece. He wasn't. He is also waiting to be removed back to India. Coming up, more tales from the Nigerian pig farmer.
What is your date of birth?
1904, 1960.
Why did
1964, sorry.
The port of Calais, northern France. For thousands of illegal immigrants travelling without documentation, this is known as the gateway to the UK. With over 20 million tonnes of freight being transported by ferry each day, the opportunities to hide in one of the thousands of trucks travelling to Britain are plentiful. The berths are where the lorries wait to board the ferry. It's the last chance for the teams to find stowaways before they reach the UK.
It's a huge piece of machinery by the looks of it.
Today, the team is searching a lorry of sports trucks and have had a high reading on the CO2 monitors, the device used to detect human breath.
Yeah, they are rich.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Rubber tyres also emit CO2, which could explain the high reading. Therefore, such loads as these are a popular choice for people seeking a lorry to hide.
Got people here. We have Charlie Delta's clear.
You've got what, Charlie Delta's? We've got some.
Guys, please take the plastic bags off your heads. Take the plastic bags off your heads. Take them off your heads. Health and safety. Good. Right, please. Are you all well though? You all good? Yeah? Excellent.
How many have we got?
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 Vietnamese nationals in plastic bags, mixed of male and female.
The CO2
Right, do you want them
probes
out,
are proved right, and 10 Vietnamese people have been found beneath the car.
Yeah, okay. Right, you just stand here for me. Just stand there. All right, you
They've
stand here
attempted
for
to
me.
avoid detection by putting plastic bags over their heads.
We don't know how long they've been in there, and they all was covered in black bags, covering their heads, as you could see from the footage you got. And we just wanted them to get them some air. Out here, they're nice people, they're good, they're no trouble to us. They're going to be fine here. We'll just keep them here till we get the escort team down.
They all put bags over their heads. to stop the CO2 coming out. But the moment they take them off, all that CO2 is released into the trailer. Say 10 people do that at the same time, that's a lot of CO2 that all comes together. And you'll get this massive reading on your CO2.
You need to stay, you need to write.
Some areas of Vietnam are considered to have an unsatisfactory human rights record by the Home Office. Vietnamese nationals are being detected in increasing numbers in Calais. Many have paid agents up to £20,000 hoping to achieve illegal entry to Great Britain.
Ah, but you understand a little English? No. I need everybody's name.
This time
Their
they
name,
haven't
like,
made
my
it
name's
across the
Bridget.
channel, although they were
Kebab.
just 5 minutes away
I need your
from
name, so
boarding
you
the
write your
ferry.
name on there.
The group were later released by the French authorities and were free to try again. The lorry company was fined £4,000. The Deputy High Commission is the headquarters for the UK Border Agency in Lagos, Nigeria.
suggested it was his cousin who
Inside,
brought the
Officer Phil
passport
Morgan
back
is speaking to
took
his
his
manager,
passport
Dan
back to
Barker,
Nigeria
about the visa application of this man. He claims he overstayed his last UK visa because his cousin accidentally took his passport back to Nigeria.
I put it to him there was no reason why his passport should have been stamped. It should have been his cousin's passport that was stamped.
Correct.
So I believe there's an attempt at deception here to show that he returned before his visa conditions expired. Now, if we were to believe that his passport was brought back to Nigeria by mistake, his reason for staying the extra 3 to 4 months was that he applied for an emergency travel document from the Nigerian High Commission in London, and it took 3 months. Now, I believe those documents are issued within 24 or 48 hours.
Okay.
So I just don't find that credible either.
And has he got a copy of that emergency travel document with him?
I didn't actually ask that, so I can ask him a few more questions if you wish.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Both Phil and Dan have their doubts, so this time Phil will confront the man about his police record.
Do you still have your emergency travel document?
No, they collect it at the immigration office, and I have to stay five hours because I need to collect my passport back, and that was the only evidence to show I'm the owner of the passport.
What did you do for the 3 months while you were waiting for this emergency travel document to be issued?
You can see I've grown belly now. I was feeding.
What, you ate for 24 hours a day?
Sleeping, going around, they're monitoring my business here.
Okay. Have you been arrested and fingerprinted by the police in the UK?
Myself? Over what?
I'm asking you.
Not that I can remember. Yeah, except for driving with my international license, yeah.
So you have been?
Yes.
When was this?
I can't remember, it's been a long time. I can't remember, it should be four years.
When you were arrested by the police, what name did you give them?
My name, Adebayo.
Well, I have evidence that you gave a different name.
Can I know the name they told me, they said I gave?
Yes?
Yes, please. Yeah.
It's Adiwele.
Adebayo.
No, Adiwele.
They misquoted then.
No. I have the police record, and that's the name you gave them. And also, what is your date of birth?
1904, 1960.
1960?
Yes, please.
Why did
1964, sorry.
Well, again, I have evidence that you gave the police in the UK your date of birth as the 25th of September 1975.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
Well, they're your fingerprints that the police took, and that's the name you gave them.
No, I'm sure I gave them my name, Adebayo, my correct date of birth. It has never changed.
Okay. And why did the police arrest you?
What happened was I used the extra small tire.
Oh, the emergency tire, yeah?
The emergency tire. And I was arrested because of that.
That's fine, thank you very much. If you'd just like to wait outside again, please.
Thank you.
It's the end of the interview, and the man has failed to explain his deception.
So, and obviously to refuse for use of deception from obviously obtaining a stamp by deception, which appears genuine.
I believe it is genuine.
And we'll obviously refuse him and refer him to the police.
Indeed. Right, I've referred your application to the entry clearance manager, and your visa application has been refused. The reason it's been refused is that at the time you were arrested by the police, you gave a different name and date of birth from that in your passport. Also, you overstayed in the United Kingdom by more than 28 days.
Yeah, but that was intentional. I explained
No, but
that.
you should have attempted to regulise your position, your status in the UK,
No,
having
no.
realised that your visa had expired and that you were in the UK illegally. Anyway, that's a copy for you with your appeal papers, okay?
Can I have my other
the gentleman
documents?
over there will give you back the documents and your passport, okay? Thank you.
The gentleman holding his passport is Inspector Lawal of the Lagos Fraud Unit. He was taken away for further questioning, but released without charge the same afternoon. The farmer has failed to get his UK visa, but each year around 60,000 genuine visitors make it to the UK from Lagos. The post of UK Border Agency Officer in Lagos can be a dangerous one. Expatriates and Western-based companies have been the targets of kidnapping. Sarah Pownell is an immigration liaison manager. Unlike her colleagues in Lagos, Sarah travels to work in a bulletproof armour-plated car.
It can be a bit sort of living in a bit of a pressure cooker at times when you just want some independence and freedom, but most of the time everybody gets on and you accept all the security measures that are in place to look after you. Unfortunately, about 18 months ago, one of our drivers was shot and killed on duty on his way onto the mainland, and so we do take security very strongly at the High Commission.
Sarah is based at the Deputy High Commission but spends most of her week travelling to and from Murtala Mohammed Airport.
Morning. Hey Joe, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
No wahala.
No wahala today.
No wahala.
Okay.
Sarah doesn't have any legal
Flight of it
powers at the
today?
airport. It's her job to advise airline staff on how to stop people trying to enter the UK illegally.
We provide the training to the airlines so that they can do the job on their own. We don't have to stand here and do the job for them. We're here just as an advisor to the airlines to explain maybe some of these technical difficulties, inform them of any current trends with the different types of forgeries, different types of counterfeit documents. But anyone who does arrive in the UK who doesn't have the correct visa, who doesn't have the correct paperwork in whatever shape or form, the airline will be fined £2,000, which is a hefty load for the airline to face. So it's in their interests, obviously, to work with us and ensuring that everybody's got the right documentation.
Over 5 million people travel through Murtala Mohammed Airport every year.
Let's see who we've got then.
At the
Okay.
boarding gate, passengers are given a final check. This is the last chance to spot imposters before they reach the UK.
All these bits and pieces. Just show your boarding pass at the guys here. We're not taking Arsenal supporters today, I'm afraid. This is a Liverpool zone, okay? So no Arsenal supporter. No Arsenal
Sarah has been
supporters.
asked by the airline staff to look at a woman's visa. The woman does not want to be identified.
Morning, madam. How are you? What's your final destination today?
No, today.
Today?
Today in London.
Okay.
But I'm going to US tomorrow.
You're going to the US tomorrow, okay? Have you been to the US before?
Yes, a long time.
Okay, approximately when? 1975, okay. When you went for your American visa, did you tell the visa officer that you were pregnant? You didn't? No, okay. Is there any reason why you didn't tell the visa officer that you were pregnant?
It didn't come up.
It didn't come up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just
The
going to ask
woman
you
is
to
only
take a seat
7
over
weeks
there.
away from
What I'll
giving
do is I'll
birth,
just ring the
yet
American
has
embassy.
decided to visit
tell
her
them
sister
that,
in America, claiming
you're
she will
travelling
return
today.
3
You've got
weeks
this
before
letter.
her due
It
date.
says that you're fit to travel. Babies born in the UK don't automatically qualify for a British passport, but babies born in the US do automatically qualify for an American passport. So it's quite common for pregnant ladies to travel overseas so that they can have the baby in whichever country to automatically get that passport.
Sarah is suspicious of the woman's motive for travelling to the US via the UK. But she could also be in breach of airline regulations for travelling whilst pregnant.
When is she due?
5th of June.
When is her return?
16th of May. So she's got 3 weeks between her return date and her due date, which makes her 37 weeks pregnant, which is over every airline's limit. The whole policy on how advanced you can be for travel is different on each airline.
I was going to say
I can't remember what yours is for your airline. I think it's about 33 or 34.
Yeah,
32. Well, her letter says 33, so she's already over that.
Yeah, because
when she's coming back again on your airline, she will be 37 weeks. Exactly.
The woman is in breach of the airline's policy, but as she has a valid US visa, Sarah must now contact the US Embassy.
Hi, it's Sarah. I'm at the airport at the moment. I just wondered if you could give a call to the American Embassy so that they can check an American visa for me. She's at the airport today and she's in an advanced state of pregnancy. So if you can just give them a call and find out if they're happy with that, and if so, then we can let her travel.
Sarah now has to wait for a reply from the US Embassy. The flight leaves in 10 minutes. The decision to question the woman in the first place came from the airline, but Sarah's presence has become the focus of the woman's frustration.
Because my own point, I don't understand why you are doing
Explain your point.
It's the immigration people that will either tell you it's okay or not.
They will
so
tell
why
you.
Are you the one stopping me at this point?
Because your flight here is going directly to the UK. You didn't choose Delta to go directly to the States, and this is why I'm on duty here, to see the people who are travelling through the UK.
It's minutes before the flight leaves, but whether or not the pregnant woman will be on board is up to the US Embassy.
Right, okay, all right, I'll do that then. Okay, thanks very much. All right, thank you, bye-bye.
She's not good.
Okay, that was the American Embassy, and they want to speak to her today.
The flight will be leaving without the pregnant woman. Now Sarah was told.
So what I've done is I've contacted the visa man and explained your situation. What he'd like to do is can you go back to the embassy here in Lagos, show him all this paperwork, and he'll want to speak to you. I'm sorry, I know it's frustrating, but if you can go back to him, because Madam,
please,
Madam,
please, I'm begging.
No, please don't beg me. Please don't beg me. No, Madam, please don't beg me.
I know a lot of people that are pregnant that do go and all that.
The pregnant woman did not make it to the USA. When she failed to turn up at the American Embassy, her visa was cancelled. Coming up, a massive find at Calais.
We've got at least another 6, so we're going to be upwards of 20.
Back in Calais, Bridget and the response team have received a call from a crew on the other side of the port requiring urgent assistance.
Yankee 1, this is Charlie 3. Just to let you know that we're en route to lane 173 to join you.
Richard and Bridget work alongside the newly formed Calais response team.
What we're going to is lane 173 down at the berth area, where one of our teams has radioed up to say that they have a lorry down here that is full of illegals, so we're going to be responding to it.
Paddy, good. Yeah. There's at least 25, they think, in tyres.
Oh, not.
But big tyres, big tyres. Excellent.
They've no idea how many people are inside, and judging by the size of the load, it's not going to be an easy search.
There's 2 officers inside, so if we go up this side, help with the searching of the tyres, and the front has still got to be searched as well. Right, there's a seal on that one.
There was a seal on the back, the driver code was on there. IO markers inspected the seal, it wasn't sealed properly. Entered the vehicle at the rear, unable to visually check the vehicle, but there was a smell, there was a possible entrance of illegals. Took the side curtain off, looked in these 2 sets of tyres, found a group of 10 in the first group, second set of tyres another 9 or 10 people.
8 in there,
Yep.
5 in there.
Gary found 5 in the other set of tyres.
We've got to check the rest yet. I reckon there's more. And there was, what, 2 or 3 down the side there as well?
The lorry is carrying large tyres for agricultural vehicles. It's a dangerous load to hide in, and the first priority is to get the people out safely.
Okay, we can start getting them out one at a time, man. I'll get the bottom ones out first.
Keep away, good man. Yeah, you can pull it back more now. Just because we're going to pull the curtain back, is that okay? We don't want you to fall out.
Hey, be careful as well, one of them's smoking in here.
Because there were so many in the middle, some of them have actually laid in these tyres along here. There's quite a lot of space in there, so we'll have to check when everyone's out, just check all the tyres, just make sure there's still no one laying in there.
1 minute, we just got to wait for someone to come and get you.
Go this way for me. That way.
You got your stuff? Excellent.
Oh, watch it to the side. Get back in.
Are they all Vietnamese?
All Vietnamese.
Yeah. You need to find method of entry.
Yeah, back door.
Oh, there was no security at all?
The seal was in.
Oh, but it wasn't.
The seal was there, but the seal wasn't locked.
Right.
Up.
Okay.
The stowaways are all Vietnamese. They are the 3rd most encountered nationality at Calais, behind Eritreans and Africans.
Just watch over the traffic, yeah?
No, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Good man, 1 minute. Where's your shoes? Oh, down there? I don't know why they took the shoes off, but they did. They were all in here, 10 of them. They might have been on top of each other's head. So that may be why they took the shoes off. It's only a guess.
Sorry? Him there, yeah. Is that the last one of the 8, isn't it? So that's 16, yeah? So far. We've got at least another 6, so we're going to be upwards of 20.
They're all carrying the plastic bags, and this is what they put over their heads.
The Vietnamese are so desperate to come to Britain that they cover their heads with plastic bags to evade the detection of the CO2 monitor.
I'll make it 24. 24, including him, 5 females.
Age, how old are you? Your age?
None of them are carrying documents. These men and women are anonymous and completely untraceable. All the crew can do is ask them for their name, date of birth, and where they boarded the lorry.
21. And you're Vietnamese? They all stay together. The gentlemen always look after the ladies, so again they'll be very protective of them. And we had one English speaker, which was great, so we've got all the details that we needed. Great find though, CRF, great find.
In total, 24 Vietnamese people were found hiding in the lorry and handed over to the French authorities. The driver was eventually fined £2,400. 25,000 men and women work for the UK border police. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out the lawbreakers and imposters who don't have a right to be. They are the UK Border Force. Tonight, inside an immigration removal centre, a chartered flight for illegal immigrants.
It's immigration service.
A surprise raid on a Chinese takeaway.
You're under arrest. All right, what's your head?
And the man who thinks this immigration officer should be doing something better.
All I want to say, I don't want to waste your time.
Listen, I'm getting paid to do this, so you're not wasting my time. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Calais. In 2008, UK border agency teams found 20,000 people hiding in trucks headed for Britain. That's around 55 every day.
Yeah, go look in the back, please.
It's estimated there are 1,500 immigrants living rough in Calais, many of whom are children. They make frequent attempts to creep aboard the freight trucks. Most live in the jungle, a forested area a few miles from the port. Others camp right outside the perimeter fence, waiting for the right moment to sneak onto a lorry. Today, Officer Maggie Woodard rushes to the berths, the place where lorries wait just before boarding the ferry.
We've just had a phone call from our colleagues down at the berths, so we're going to go down there, assist with the possibility of clandestines being found inside. Well, it's two.
The clandestines have been found using CO2 probes that detect human breath.
Has that got the...
My colleagues who were working down here probed this lorry and they got a high reading. They opened it up and they found these two illegals on the side of the lorry. We're just trying to get them out now.
One chance. One chance. For tomorrow, more chance.
We've spoken to the driver. He said his last stop was at Belgium, but we think he also mentioned a 15-minute stop just along the road for diesel, so it's more than likely they are from the jungle originally.
Officer Foley discovers they used a familiar method to break into the truck.
Right, we've opened the trailer up, and it looks like we've got a tilt cord here that the driver could have used. In addition with the seal, would have sorted this whole problem out for him, wouldn't have been in there.
The driver failed to tie down and lock the canvas sides of his freight.
It looks like when the driver was stopped, someone's opened up the side for them, they've scooted in, and then someone's done all the hooks back up again. Once they've got in, the driver's none the wiser. I would say 95% of the time, there's got to be someone that's sealed the vehicle back up after them.
How old?
Where do you want to go?
England.
Why England?
England, good. Good England.
These clandestines aren't alone in thinking England holds the answer to their dreams. For them, it's the place to find work and start a new life. They'll keep on trying to defy the locking systems. On this occasion, the driver and his company were fined £1,300 for failing to secure the freight.
England, good.
Two gentlemen, maybe again tomorrow. They keep saying one chance for today. They'll know, they'll just keep trying. They'll willingly admit to us that they're going to keep trying until we get to England.
The areas where lorries are searched are called the lanes. Here, Officer Barrett has a high reading on his CO2 probe and has opened up the lorry.
We could smell, as soon as we came in, the smell of clandestine.
There's another clue clandestines are aboard, the distinct aroma of people who've been living rough.
It's like the bonfire sort of smell. Quite distinctive once you've sampled it a few times.
Mark, what have we got?
There's all different, one's claiming to be Syrian, Afghan and Iranian.
This mixed international cargo is unusual, as most clandestines travel in groups of fellow countrymen.
Makes the job more rewarding because that's what we're here to do, to prevent clandestines entering the UK.
Just one at a time, Judith?
Yeah.
And this is what the job's about.
Just as it's becoming another routine operation, one of the men becomes hostile.
Stay, you guys. Hey, snap. Stay. No, you stay. Okay, camera goes. You stay here. Okay, you stay here. Sit down. Wait.
12?
Might be best to stop filming like this. They're just starting to get a bit agitated, so it might be best to take the camera away just for a second.
The cameras back off to let the men calm down.
For whatever reason, he decided that he didn't want to be on camera, I think, and
Next one. Yeah, the easiest way to get rid of the camera is to kick off and get everybody to react. And there's always one, there's generally a ringleader who will take charge, who's been here before and knows how it works. So they follow him. Yeah, after you. No one chance. Not today. Tomorrow. One chance tomorrow. He's very smiley.
Most clandestines are resigned to being here and openly tell the officers how they got in.
That last one that just came out said that they entered through the side of the vehicle and there's no tilt cord on it.
So again? If the driver had properly secured his freight, it could have stopped the clandestines from boarding. He was fined £1,200. Sometimes
you do get some people, like clandestines, that they tend to get a bit irritable if they come through again and again and again and get found all the time. But it's only the few. I mean, most of them are, try again tomorrow.
Coming up, tears at Heathrow.
You've made the decision.
I'm not going to run away. I just want to have a shower.
At this moment, you are inadmissible to the UK.
Inside an immigration removal centre, the man who wants a tax return.
I'm going to get a move from England. I want all my taxes back.
And the London enforcement team spoiled dinner.
Right, guys, anyone speak English?
At the outskirts of Heathrow is Colnbrook Immigration Removal Centre. It has the same security as a Category B prison. It holds 400 men in 2 sections. One section is long-term. Many in here are foreign nationals who have already served a prison sentence. Once their sentence is over, they are brought here to wait for their paperwork to be completed so they can be sent home. This can be complicated, and some have been here for years. Governments in some countries are reluctant to have people back with serious criminal records. There is also a short-term section. This holds illegal immigrants for up to a week. Many here have been caught by enforcement teams and are from countries that are easier to negotiate with for their return. Colnbrook's UK Border Agency office is where the removal papers are processed. Officer Raza is about to meet an Algerian man who has just completed a prison sentence.
Are you Farid? You alright? Okay. He was convicted of a crime in the UK. He was sentenced to 16 months for robbery and attempted robbery. So he's now obviously under immigration, being detained under immigration powers. I'm just going to give you your deportation order. You will be required to leave and you're prohibited from entering the UK again as long as this order is in force. Okay? That's all for you? Okay? I've seen Farid before, so I mean, I know what he's like. He tends to cooperate fairly well with immigration because he wants to go back to Algeria as soon as possible anyway. Hello lads, if you just take a seat on the far side, thank you.
Officer Chima is about to see an illegal immigrant from Kosovo. The man was sent here after being arrested in a late-night brawl. The police discovered he was here illegally and handed him to immigration.
All right, Mr. Lulak, my name is Mr. Chima. I work here for the Home Office. Do you understand why you're being detained here?
Well, somehow, yes.
Okay. Just to keep it brief, as you know, you were detained as someone who's to be removed from the UK. You have a flight back to Kosovo, Albania, on the 14th of May, which is next Thursday. That's your flight itinerary there. That is your factual summary, giving you a history of your case and also who's in charge of your case. So if you let your solicitor know what's happened, you can do so.
I don't have a solicitor, no, nothing.
Okay. There is a list of duty solicitors available here for you. You can speak to the officers.
I just want to go back.
Okay, that's fine.
The street fighter won't have long to wait. He'll be sent home next week on a specially chartered flight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Officer Chima will speak to another Kosovan he wants to put on the same flight.
Mr. Jusufi had been here since 1998, so he's been here a long time. And we're going to serve removal directions on him. He came here claiming asylum also. His asylum claim was dismissed. In that time he's been working.
He arrived in 1998 and claimed asylum.
Mr. Jusufi, you take a seat on the far side, thank you.
Thank you very much.
6 years later, his application was refused.
Yes, please.
He absconded but was arrested in an enforcement raid at a pizza restaurant in April 2009.
Do you understand why you're being detained?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just to make it brief, you have a removal set back to Kosovo for the 14th of May, which is next Thursday.
Yeah.
That's your flight itinerary for you there.
Yeah.
This is also for you, just a case history of your time you arrived to the time of your detention.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
He's settled in Britain and feels the country owes him a debt.
Because I've been working here with my papers for almost more than 10 years. Yeah?
Right.
And I've been paying tax for this country.
Right.
I want all my taxes back, yeah.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be able to move from England. I want all my taxes back.
Mhm.
Because I was working in my name. I didn't work in the other names. All the time in my name. And I've got a house in England as well. I got flat here.
Right. All I'll suggest.
That's why. And I got my fiance here. I didn't get
Anything.
anything from government, any income. So
I appreciate what you're saying, Mr. Jusufi. However, it isn't going to change that you'll be removed at this point. So all I can say is you should speak to your legal representative and he'll be able to advise you on that. When the guy was talking about tax, we've had a few of those questions before. It's something that we don't get involved in. We'll tell them to take legal advice on it. But technically speaking, they've been here illegally, so they can't get their tax backdated in any way.
The 2 Kosovan prisoners will join 24 other Kosovans and Albanians on the flight chartered by UK Border Agency.
This is a regular thing that the UK Border Agency do. These charter flights have been planned and they happen on a fortnightly or on a monthly basis to remove, specifically remove Kosovan and Albanian nationals back to that part of Europe.
It's one of 70 flights a year used for removing illegal immigrants. In 2008, over 1,500 were sent home this way. Many of those in Colnbrook were picked up by enforcement teams like this one. Officer Shane Healy is planning a raid on a Chinese takeaway.
We're going to the... Intelligence suggests that possible immigration offenders are working from this address, and previous visits to this kind of establishment have led to the arrests of failed asylum seekers and immigration offenders. So we'll go straight away.
In 2008, enforcement teams carried out 13,000 raids, resulting in over 10,000 arrests. The target today is a takeaway serving the locals of the well-heeled area of West Hampstead.
We're here. Right, let's go. Immigration Service, do you want to come inside for us? It's Immigration Service. Can you all come around this area for me? Put down what you're doing. Has that been cleared downstairs? Yeah? Hi, from the Immigration Service. Okay, we're just here doing checks on people today. Actually, have a seat, yeah? You're right. We're immigration officers.
There are 9 employees. Officers check their immigration status.
Have you got a passport? What type of passport have you got? You carry it about with you? Yeah. That's going to be fine. Lady's produced her passport to me. It's a valid passport. It's got a valid student visa in here, so she's got leave to remain in the UK. Where's your passport?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's told me who he is. He's told me his story and stuff. Checked on our computer database, verified it from a copy of his passport. It's all fine. He's a British citizen.
The workers prove they are allowed to work in Britain, except for one. He applied for asylum, but was turned down.
Okay, those you have got you as well.
All right, okay. He sought an application to remain here on the basis of his nationality and problems back home. That application has been looked at and it's been refused. He was asked, as a result of him being illegally in this country, to sign on at our office, which he's failed to do since 2004. Well, listen, you're under arrest. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court.
The man is a failed asylum seeker hiding from the immigration authorities. Officers will now take the man to his home address to find his passport so they can remove him from the country. Without it, they will have to ask for emergency travel documents from the Chinese government, and they could face difficulties convincing them he's from their country.
The gentleman that then is arrested got his address, so we are going to go there and search for a document. Without a document, the likelihood of removing him is very unlikely, so we are going to go and search for a passport now.
Heathrow, Terminal 3. It carries over 30,000 passengers every day. That's over 10 million a year. Today at passport control is immigration officer Sheetal Patel.
Hi there. Travelling alone? Yeah?
She's about to check a woman who's just arrived from South Africa.
I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your stay here, yeah? How long are you going to be here?
3 months.
3 months. So immediately today, where will you be going?
After my wife will pick me up from the airport, so I will be staying with you, or I will be staying with my friends who are from South Africa as well.
Okay. So your friend that's picking you up, is he just a friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Miss Thomas, I have got some inquiries to make, okay? So I just need to take this. Take a seat for me. You'll be here with us until I finish conducting those inquiries, okay? Matt, got a referral for you. Okay, we've got a South African female. She's just coming in. She says she wants to come in for 3 months, but she's just finished a 2-year working holiday. And she's only been away from the country for a month. She says she'll be going to Scotland, Ireland, visit other South African friends that she has here.
So in 2 years here, she just didn't get around to seeing Scotland and Wales?
And Ireland and Wales, yeah.
Doesn't hang together. And the idea of a working holiday is that you have a holiday and you do a bit of incidental work.
Exactly.
And that in 2 years you should,
should have seen what you wanted to see. Yeah.
So then to come back for another holiday on top of that makes me think that there's something here that's more important than back there.
A 2-year working holiday visa allows 1 year of work and 1 year of holiday.
Right, just come with me this way.
The South African woman has already had one of these visas, and now she's back just 1 month later.
Yeah?
Officer Patel wants to find out if the friend waiting to pick up the passenger is just a friend. But it seems being stopped by immigration is all too much for her.
I know you're upset, but it's just, I just have to...
I feel alone now, and I just want to speak to my mom.
Do you want to give her a call? Do you want me to
No,
give...
she's at work now.
Okay.
I just want to go home. I don't even want to be here anymore.
Just grab your bags.
Although the passenger appears to have given up the fight, Officer Patel investigates further to assess her status. First, she calls the passenger's friend waiting in arrivals.
Hi Tom, my name is Sheetal. I'm an immigration officer at Heathrow Airport. Hi there. Are you meeting anyone today? Okay, just to let you know, she's currently being held with immigration. We do have some further inquiries that we need to conduct. Is it all right if I have a quick chat with you? And how is it that you know her? You just know through friends. Are you just friends or are you in a relationship? You're in a relationship, thank you. Okay then, thank you. Bye-bye. So it turns out that the gentleman downstairs, Tom, is the passenger's boyfriend. And when I asked the passenger if it's a boyfriend or a friend, she stated that he is just a friend. To have a boyfriend in the UK creates a stronger tie than just to have friends in the UK. So it gives her that extra thing to want to come back for. So not sure why she would have said on the desk that it's not a boyfriend, but that's what we need to find out.
The passenger has lied about who was picking her up. With a boyfriend here, Officer Patel suspects a short visit might turn into something more permanent.
As soon as the deception starts, that's when our alarm bells start ringing. And, it's just that, have you got more to hide? Is there more to this than you're letting on? Previous payslip from when she was here on her working holiday.
Officer Patel and her boss, Matt Dyson, look for other clues to find out why she wants to come to the UK. They discover a payslip.
£500 fortnightly, that's not bad.
That shows she's worked full-time for that whole year.
Okay.
So that's not good.
So we just need to find out if she worked full-time for the other year as well.
Where is it?
Her working holiday
Finished her
visa
working
would have
holiday.
allowed her to work
Previous
12 months
payslip
of her
from when
2-year
she
stay.
was...
In this case, what we've got so far is there's a payslip there which appears to indicate, unless she was earning an enormous amount for a little bit of work, that she probably worked the whole of the last tax year, the one that we've just completed. Now, that means she's done all her work basically in that period. Now, do we really believe that in the first year she was here she did nothing at all? Well, that's unlikely, because let's be honest, if you're a working holiday maker on a 2-year working holiday, you're not going to sit around and not work for a whole year and then just do it at the end, because your financial constraints are the same at the beginning as they are at the end, pretty much.
Good morning, my name is Sheetal. I'm an immigration officer at Heathrow Airport.
Officer Patel calls the restaurant where the passenger has been working.
So she started 25th of June 2007 and departed 26th of Feb, did you say? 2009. Okay.
The manager says the woman worked over 20 months at the restaurant, 8 more than her visa allowed.
It just goes to show that she had a disregard for the restrictions that was put on her. When you do get your working holiday, you are told it's 1 year's holiday, 1 year's work, and she's abused that. Once you abuse something once, you can't be trusted that you're not going to do it again. That's the thing. I've just made a phone call, and they tell me that you were employed from the 25th of June 2007 to the 26th of Feb 2009.
Okay.
Yeah? So that's 20 months.
Okay.
Yeah? Do you understand what that means?
No.
Right. When you were given your working holiday visa, you were told how long you can work for.
Yeah.
And how long were you told?
A year.
Okay. So we've now found out that in fact, you worked for over that time, which means that you breached the restrictions given to you on your working holiday. So after speaking to Tom, yeah, he's told me that, like I asked you at the desk, are you in a relationship or is he just your friend? And you told me he's your friend. But when I asked him, he says he's in a relationship with you. So who's right, who's wrong?
I mean, we want to go into a relationship in that.
Okay. What do you call it?
A thing.
Okay. So you guys have been together as friends, and now you're coming back to see him.
Not necessarily him, but he knows that.
Okay. After speaking to him, he says that you guys are in a relationship. Why would he say that? Because he says he's actually discussed plans with you and stuff.
I don't know. I don't know.
The passenger is trying to make light of her relationship. For the chief, it doesn't wash.
You can have a certain amount of sympathy when someone's dreams are not going to go or come to fruition this week. But, she has told lies.
Yeah. And, she's done it once. We don't know if she's going to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She can go home first available flight, please.
Come on, then. I'll tell you what's happening, right? We've made the decision and you've been refused entry today.
Just let me stay 1 week and then just let me, after 1 week, I swear on my mother's life, I will go.
Your removal flight is this evening, okay? Your removal flight is tonight at 8:30. At this moment, you are inadmissible to the UK. Therefore, we can't let you go anywhere. So unfortunately, you have to stay with us in detention until your flight. But as far as taking you anywhere and put you anywhere else, I can't do that, I'm afraid. It doesn't stop you from coming back. You can still come back. You just need to...
I would never want to come
That's
back
fine.
here.
That's fine.
Never.
That's for you.
The passenger was put on a flight to South Africa later that evening. Coming up, the passenger who doesn't want to go home.
Right, guys, well, this woman that's coming out, she's pretty volatile. We may have to offer some more formal help to get her on the aircraft.
The hunt for the passport with the London enforcement team.
We want your passport. You have a passport? One part of the job I hate.
And the student who obeys the rules twice a week.
And you've worked 20 hours a week for Asda, and you've worked 20 hours a week for William Hill. So, how many hours in total did you work?
Roughly 40 hours.
Just to see if there's any recovery.
The London enforcement team raided a Chinese takeaway and arrested a failed asylum seeker found working there. The team want his passport so they can remove him from the country. They've driven him back to his house to pick it up.
Let's go. Just so everyone's aware, there's children on the premises.
It appears there is a family.
Is that wife?
Yeah. The man failed to tell the officers he was married with children.
Excuse me? All right, okay. That's your wife, yeah?
Yeah.
Upstairs, officers are met with another surprise.
Right, guys. Anyone speak English? None of you.
A tiny room
Right,
with
Bruce, come
6
sit down for
beds
me.
and
Speak
4
any
men
English at
about
all.
to eat dinner.
Mandarin or Cantonese?
And with some nationalities, you find an awful lot of people to one room. We've done a visit, well, years back now, but we found 47 Chinese in one 3-bedroom house.
The reason why we're here, okay, we want your passport. You have a passport?
It's ID, yes.
ID. Where?
Yeah, go on, then. Tell me if I was Oh, baby. Oh, you got baby as well? Oh, okay, one in the oven.
The man's wife is pregnant with a second child.
Oh, very nice. No, don't you do that if you're pregnant. You shouldn't be picking up boxes if you're pregnant.
Okay.
All right.
Come on, sit down.
No, just sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Go on, sit down.
Does anyone in the house speak English? Anyone in the house?
You speak a little bit of English, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you understand? You understand. You've been here a long time. You do understand a little bit. Listen. Right, listen to the officer, okay?
You've been here 10 years.
You understand a little bit of English, okay?
Hello? Yeah, hiya.
Home Office
I'm from the
checks
Immigration
reveal
Service,
his
UK.
wife is also a failed
Hiya.
asylum
I just need to explain
She
to
keeps
this
to her
guy.
bail conditions
All
by
right, no
reporting
problem.
regularly, but her
Yeah,
husband
yeah,
has
that's
not
good.
reported
All
in
right,
years.
no problem. They've both been asked to sign at the same office. She was only once a month and she's signing on. She's heavily pregnant, still makes it. He's able and doesn't. He's not told us about his wife and kids. You know, these are all relevant to us making a fair decision. You know, when was he going to tell us? When he was getting on a plane? Absolutely ridiculous. Makes a mockery of the whole system.
The husband and wife claim they don't have passports. The enforcement team have heard this before.
One part of the job I hate is searching.
I enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Back upstairs, it's a tight squeeze as officers check Home Office records on the 4 men.
We've got 4 Chinese gentlemen in this bedroom. They've produced us with their ARC cards, which is asylum registration cards. We're going to check on our system to see what state their applications are in and go from there.
The discovery of asylum registration cards should mean the Home Office will have details on file.
Hello, Vicky. We're in a house full of Chinese. Could you do some checks, please? Yeah.
The 3 men claimed asylum on entry into Britain.
Charlie Alpha India.
They were given temporary release, and by the time their asylum claims were refused, they had all absconded. The 4th man entered Britain on the back of a lorry.
Could you explain to him he's now under arrest as someone liable to be detained?
They are arrested to be questioned further and have their fingerprints taken. The team cannot find the passports to help remove the family from the country. It could take months to sort out emergency travel documents.
Right, we're going to release you, okay? That's not because you've been a good person. It's only because you've got a pregnant wife and child here. Right, but it's important that you come in and sign on with your wife.
He's got to act responsibly now for his family and start signing on with his wife every month.
The man and his wife are currently reporting as instructed.
That's why I'm on a guard, man.
The 4 men arrested upstairs were later released on condition they appear every 2 weeks at a reporting centre. They reported once before absconding again. At a location near Gatwick, a private security firm is gearing up for a big operation. While most of Britain sleeps, team leader Alan Mackay briefs his 68 custody officers on Operation Aardvark.
Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Operation Aardvark 355. We'll be returning 26 detainees to either Albania or Kosovo. We have 3 coaches going two to Colnbrook and 1 to Brook House, and then we have a van going up to Yarlswood.
Colnbrook Immigration Removal Centre. Officers wait the detainees for an early morning flight.
Good morning, Mr. Hassan. You know what's happening today? I'm down. Give us a quick search.
I was waiting because I waited for court.
Mr. Lule, good morning. You know what's happening, don't you?
Of course I know.
Excellent.
I can't wait.
Excellent.
I want to go home now.
The Kosovan man arrested in a street fight has shaved his head.
Be back soon.
The coaches arrive carrying the custody officers.
Our job primarily is to take them from the custody of the immigration removal centre. They'll then be taken into our custody. Then they're brought out of the centre and onto the coaches for transportation. It's fair to say that the vast majority of these guys are they've had fair warning that they will be removed from the country. They've made their arrangements. The majority of them are happy to go. Occasionally we may get somebody that's not quite so cooperative, but you know, we try our best.
They will pick up illegal immigrants from 2 other removal centres and will rendezvous at the airport at 8 a.m. Most of the detainees have been caught working illegally, but some have served time in prison for violent offences.
There's a good rapport between the staff and those in our custody, and we like to keep it that way. We like to make sure that we build up a relationship, a bit of sense of humour, and talk about football, find something in common. Yeah.
Today, UK Border Agency have chartered an entire plane to deport them.
Okay, they're coming on. This is where the staff come into their own, really, and they start to ease tensions and de-escalate any problems that they may see arising. Nobody's going to be removed forcibly unless they resist the removal.
Just as the last few take their seats, there is a problem with a woman who doesn't want to board. The flight can't leave without her.
She's pretty volatile. Let the girls deal with it. I want you guys we want a cordon around the van. Yeah? Let the girls deal with it, please. All right, guys. We've got a female detainee that's reluctant to get on the aircraft. The girls are talking to her now. We're trying to persuade her that the best option really is to go along with us. Unfortunately, it may be that we may have to offer some more formal help to get her on the aircraft. Slowly does it, girls. Slowly does it. Slowly does it.
You right then? Can we take it here or?
Take the head.
Yeah.
It's a delicate situation for the team already on board. They don't want to unnerve any of the other passengers.
She's afraid of flying. She's scared of being on an airplane. So the medic will give her some tablets to calm her down. That's all it is. She's an elderly lady and she's scared.
The illegal immigrants are escorted back home by 56 custody officers. 4 Kosovans will go to Pristina and the rest to Tirana in Albania. When the officers return, they will need to start preparing for the next chartered flight to a different destination in a few days' time. Passport control, Heathrow, Terminal 3. A passenger is taken to have his bags searched. Officer Hassler wants to know why he has come to the UK.
Just been handed this case. It's a returning student on a Pakistani passport. The issue we've got is that he's known to us for having a UK residence permit refused.
I'm afraid.
The residence permit was an international graduate scheme work permit, also known as an IGS. It was refused because his education certificates were from a UK college listed as bogus.
What he's then done, he's then reapplied for a new student residence permit. So the question is, we've got somebody who was studying, who in fact wants to work here, was refused a work permit, but has now then gone and reapplied as a student visa, which is strange to say the least.
The man has just 4 days left on his original student visa. If he's allowed in, he can immediately apply for a new IGS work permit. The application process will give him up to 3 months extra time in the UK, much longer than the 4 days left on his current visa, even if the application is refused.
Okay, we're just going to take you to another area now, okay? Well, I need to do your fingerprints. And I also need to take a picture of you as well, yeah?
Yes.
So what I'm going to explain to you, right, you've been held up at the moment. There's insufficient reliable information for me to decide whether to grant you entry, okay? And at the moment, you've given unsatisfactory answers to the questions given by the original officer on the control, okay? Okay. What other documentation have you got here that I can have a look at whilst we're here?
Most foreign travellers on visas bring with
And
them
what's
a
this for?
few supporting documents. This man has brought hundreds.
So you refused?
That was a work permit, basically.
IGS, yeah?
IGS, it is.
So I mean, this is an awful lot of documentation, but you do tend to find certain nationalities will carry their documentation with them. Like I say, this is a great deal, so it just makes my job a little bit harder to sift through it all and find what's relevant and what's not. I'll tell you what, he's more organised than I am.
Among the documents are wage slips from William Hill, Ladbrokes and Asda. A foreign student in Britain can work a maximum of 20 hours a week.
On the control, he did tell the officer that he was working at Asda, so we need to clarify how long he's been working for Asda, because clearly if he's working one place and then working two places, then the cumulative hours would be in excess of those 20.
He also finds letters from several colleges in Britain, all claiming he is studying with them. Officer Hassler wants to know how he can be in all these places at once.
So we're going to go in an interview and we're just going to ask him about his time as a student, and see what he says, because we've got colleges overlapping, massive, we've got 3 or 4 colleges at any one time that he's supposed to be studying at. So we'll go in there and we'll have a chat and see what he comes up with, and we'll see if he can discuss his course content. Okay, what I'd like you to do, just come in here please and sit down there, alright? Are you fit and well to be interviewed?
I'll try my best.
No, I don't want you trying your best. I want you to tell me, are you fit and well to be interviewed? Because I want to ask you some questions, and what I don't want you 5 or 10 minutes saying, oh, I can't answer that because I'm not well. Are you fit and well to be interviewed?
I mean, have I got any option?
Of course you've got an option. I'm asking you a question. Are you fit and well to be interviewed? If you don't feel you're well enough to be interviewed, you tell me, and I'll refer you back to the doctor.
I think I'm fine.
You think you're fine?
The interviewers got off to an uncomfortable start, and
I
the real
will then
questions
refer
haven't even
my
begun.
case and my findings.
After the break, Officer Hassler turns up the heat.
All I want to confess is I have done nothing wrong in your country.
Okay, right, let me be the judge if you do nothing wrong, okay?
A man has arrived from Pakistan with just 4 days left on his student visa. Officer Hassler has questions about the certificates he submitted for a work permit and the hundreds of documents found in his hand luggage. He has at least 2 jobs and is studying at a number of colleges.
Why have you come to the UK?
Today?
Yeah, correct.
To study.
Okay, and where?
LSMS.
Which is?
London School of Management Sciences.
How long have you studied there?
Almost 5 years.
So, since your arrival then, you've effectively been studying all your time at London School of Management Science. Can you tell me why I have a letter from Empire College dated November 2004 saying that you were a full-time student doing a Bachelor of Science in Physics? So why would they be issuing you a letter if you've never studied there?
No, basically I didn't inform them that I left the college.
Why would you ask for this letter if you had no intention to be studying there? And please start telling me the truth, because at the moment you're not, and I can tell you're not.
No, that's what I'm telling you, sir.
That's what you're telling me.
I was still enrolled in then college, but I wasn't.
How can you possibly be enrolled in a college that you've never attended?
It's basically, sir, it's a misunderstanding because it wasn't my fault. All I want to say, I don't want to waste your time.
Listen, I'm getting paid to do this, so you're not wasting my time. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
All I want to say, sir, I'm studying at whatever I have told you under pressure or
Listen,
confused.
you're not under pressure because I give you ample opportunity at the beginning of this interview, and you chose to say that you were fit and well. And I did say what I don't want you to do is start saying, oh well, I'm a bit confused, because your English is fine. It is more than acceptable for me to understand you, and I know that you can understand me.
All I want to confess is I have done nothing wrong in your country.
Okay, right, let me be the judge if you do nothing wrong, okay? What did you apply for in June of last year?
IGS.
And what happened to that?
It was refused.
What letters did you submit? What letters and certificates did you submit?
I did give them the result sheets, the postgraduate diploma in business administration.
From where?
From Westminster College of Computing.
Did you study at Westminster College of Computing?
No, sir.
Then how did you get all these certificates? You're best to just answer the truth, okay? Because I know what the truth is, and it's better that you corroborate it. So just answer me the question. How did you get these documents?
A person helped me to make these documents.
So they are false documents?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes. Were you working?
Yes, I was.
Where were you working?
Asda.
What hours do you work there?
I worked 20 hours there.
And what about William Hill?
I did work in William Hill as well.
So, we started end of December 2006, beginning of 2007 with Asda, okay? And you started William Hill the same time, okay? And you've worked 20 hours a week for Asda, yeah? And you've worked 20 hours a week for William Hill, yeah? So, how many hours in total did you work?
Roughly 40 hours.
And you still work for Asda and William Hill, yes?
So all I want to say is I'm not breaking any law or anything, or not harming.
Listen,
anyone.
just a sec. You say you're not breaking a law, right? But what do you think immigration law is? It's not one rule for one person, one rule for another. You are breaking the law. As a student, okay, you're not allowed to work more than 20 hours a week. You're working 40 hours a week. As a student, you're not supposed to pay for fraudulent documents to submit to the UK Home Office to then try and get a work permit to live in the UK. So you tell me where you've not broken the law.
Sir, I didn't mean to break the law. It was just my fault. It was my mistake, sir. Sir, that is.
Okay. Do you need anything to eat? Food? You okay? All right. From the very beginning, I mean, you could tell that he was struggling to sort of keep up with what was going on with regard to what his history was or what his purported history was. And we've established that he's gone and purchased these documents that he then submitted to the Home Office attempting to get a work permit. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's a clear refusal. Okay, Mr. Bourgeois? Right, I need to explain to you that you're going to be refused entry into the United Kingdom, okay?
If I go just back and straight away if I apply again straight away, I'm asking for advice.
If you're asking my honest opinion, if you went back to Pakistan and then you said next week you applied for a student visa, I would say it's very highly unlikely that you would be issued with a student visa. My personal opinion.
After a month or so.
Okay, you've got to
The man has
yourself,
worked
right?
double
What are
the
you gonna
hours
show an
permitted for a
NVQ
student,
officer?
and he's submitted false documents to try and get a visa. Yet he still hopes he can come back soon.
This is a massive problem we have now with students. It's what takes up the day, is returning students who are ultimately bogus students. They get the residence permit or they get the entry clearance from their country of origin, they come to the UK, don't ever study, get fraudulent documents to show that they have been or claim to have been studying, and then it just perpetuates itself. They get their residence permits, they get their extensions, and it's all built on a lie.